Welcome to another video. Today I'm back again with another one. If you remember, months ago I did a video on a Ricoh camera that I recently purchased, and then in that video I talked about why I like the camera and why it got me back into photography. As I saw in the video, it became very popular with lots of views, so I decided to say, maybe perhaps I could do another one, but this time show all the cameras that I have at home and talk about different cameras and different styles that each one presents, and just do a video on it. So the camera I'm holding right now is the Holga 120n. It's a camera that many people were talking about. They said, hey, if you want to get into media format, cheap, easy, something that will basically get into photography and help you learn a little bit about composure, lighting, etc., this is the camera to get. And I thought it was kind of an insult because, well, why are you telling me to get this toy camera here? What are you trying to say? So I decided to purchase this camera and have a little bit of fun with it. So today I'm going to talk about the quirks and features, for Doug Muro, of the 120n by Holga. So if you're watching this video, stay tuned. Of course, I can easily talk about the specs of this camera, but let's be real, guys. This is a Holga, and there's nothing much you can talk about as far as, it's plastic, and the lens is not the best. But I think something that we're all missing these days is just the art of photography. The way that using this camera allows you to slow down, allows you to be more craftful in the way you compose your photos, and the way that you just take photos in general, the way you just make sure that you want to make a good shot out of something. With all the latest technology, sometimes I feel like you just want to shoot and not really just take your time. And I feel like this camera allows me to not only take my time, but also just appreciate the real artistic value of photography. And of course, living in China and exploring parts of China and of course parts of Asia, just bringing this camera and just having majority of my film cameras as well, it allows me to appreciate more of my surroundings, but it also makes me appreciate more of what I am doing and what I am trying to show to people when I do my photography work. And I think having this Holga here is a good example of something that not only for expert photographers, but also for beginners who are also learning how to compose, what kind of film you can get. Even though I would say films get more expensive these days, but it allows you to just hone in on your craft as a photographer. And despite the randomness that you get from shooting this, because not all lenses are created equal, I think it allows you to realize that sometimes you don't need the most fanciest gear in the world to have the best photos. Now, a lot of people might disagree that, maybe this is too gimmicky, you're just trying to recreate something that you could do on Instagram and blah, blah, blah. But there's a difference between using an Instagram filter and actually using a camera that you can see the process of creating the photo. Whether it's you shooting it, developing it, or your friend develops it, or whoever you send it to develop. Or just having the joy of just taking your time. And I think that's the biggest value that I believe in when it comes to art. It's just taking your time and just visualizing something that you want to do and what you want to shoot with. Now, you can do it with the latest cameras. There are amazing photos you can create with your latest camera. And I think there is a huge, I don't say huge difference, but I think there's a lot of similarities between film and digital still. But I think for me as an artist, sometimes the bare minimum, the bare essentials of the art world allows you to create. I think it creates more of something. It gives you a challenge, but it also gives you something to work with within those constraints. And me using this Holga has been something of a great challenge, but it's also has opened my mind even further for what I can do as a photographer. Now, I would say that this camera will give you different types of results depending on the quality of the build, depending on the quality of the lens, also depending on the type of film you get. If you want to shoot black and white, you can shoot color, you can shoot expired color, you can shoot expired black and white. You can also get a adapter that you can shoot 35mm film on this. There's all sorts of cool things you can do. You can take the back off and get light leaks. You can take the lens off, and you can make pinhole photography. You can do all kinds of cool things with this, and it allows you to be malleable within a simple camera. And that's something that maybe with even a digital camera you can't even do. So I feel like it's an artistic way for you to create artistic photos. But I also believe in that it will train you to take your time, and it also trains you to visualize what you really are trying to shoot and what you really are trying to create. So like, I believe that limitation does create great art, but sometimes it's hard to convince others that. So yes. So let's get in with the photos that I've taken. So check it out. Do I recommend this camera? Of course. I can recommend this camera to anybody out there that enjoys taking photos, but also loves to see the artistic process in the world of photography, and really is interested in film. So I think if you love this type of thing and you are very interested in the analog process of photography, I think this camera is good for you. But I think it teaches you a lot about composure, and it also teaches you the value of, like I said before, taking your time and appreciating what it is out there that you see in this world. I'm a firm believer that sometimes you just need to go out and just see what's out there. And sometimes bringing a camera is the best thing. Of course, most people won't be a Holga. It could be just simple as an iPhone or a Samsung phone. And I think even that as well is a great thing. But I always believe in that photography is beyond what you it's beyond technology. It's beyond the latest sensor or the latest autofocusing. It's always in your heart and what you create and what's in your mind and what you're trying to convey to people that when they see your photography and what they see and the art that you create. And I think if you put your heart and your mind to it and you put a passion behind not just a paintbrush or a camera, I think anyone could create beautiful type of art. You just have to put yourself out there and, like I said, take your time. And just like this other YouTube channel that I always watch, now you know better.